Let's suppose there is a tree. Maybe at the start you can consider it's a binary tree only, and then so try to keep the ball a little lower itself, so that it's something like committing less and delivering more. Like how much knowledgeable you are on the different CS concepts, that is going to define as a CS person. The SQL queries is something which can be expected. Giving a small brief about myself, I graduated from IIT Roorkee itself 4 years back, and then I worked in a couple of startup and MNC as a software and precisely a front-end developer. I started my journey from OYO, where I worked on their primary website, oyorooms.com, working on their major integration and some of the major search engine optimization activities. And then I moved to an early stage startup, working with a very small set of teams, knowing like how things work at a very small set of people, the design and other architect level. And the latest experience that I holded was of ServiceNow. It's a US-based MNC, which is majorly working onto the ITSM tools. I used to work on the React extracts from their Hyderabad location. So that's a bit and pieces about me. Would you like to give a brief intro about yourself, please?
Yeah, okay. So my name is Srijan. I'm in fifth year integrated MSc Applied Mathematics in IIT Roorkee. I've started competitive programming from second year. I've done intern in my fourth year, that was pre-final year in Innovation Technology.
Okay.
So in that internship, I worked in Go language, and I basically wrote the new calculation. So basically, Innovation is a startup, or not early stage startup. It is a mid stage startup, and it is basically works with NBFCs and give loans. And there is online portal and totally independent portal for that. So we worked on that, and for the interest calculation part, I worked in the loan management system team, LMS team, and I worked for just changing the interest calculation function from 365 to 360 days, and just designed and implemented that code. So that was my role in internship. Other than that, I have done a research intern in US in my second year in Washington State University. Other than that, I have been a part of many co-curricular activities in my college. Also, I've been in mathematics colloquium secretary in my department. I was responsible for conducting events in my department.
Yeah. So let's try to go a little more into depth with the Finovation technology, like your experience there. So you have mentioned that you have programmed from scratch multiple workflows, like, right?
Yeah.
So when you say about the workflow, that means does that include? I think there would be having some front end and the back end as well, right?
Yeah, there was front end and back end, but I was responsible for making from scratch that code, so that they can implement their backend solution, and they can implement their backend solution through Temporal, so that so that their process become more scalable. So from I was given the task to just experiment with Temporal Go SDK and try to come up with a solution so that we can add multiple functions.
Okay. And when you say about that, the productivity to improve the loan management, how that productivity was eventually improving, can you tell a little bit that part?
Okay, so basically, how currently their backend system was working was in their whole code. There were lot of if-else functions. Like they go through the data, they add penalties. Now penalties were different. For sometimes it was on the basis of interest percentage, but sometimes it was directly, like if they have not paid the interest, so they will add the penalty for 1 to 15 or 1 to 30 days.
Okay, great. Okay, so let's quickly jump to the DSA part. I think you will have a interview pad share with you. Can you open that?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So let's take some of the example or questions about the tree itself. Okay. I think this, yeah, the screen I can see. So yeah, so let's suppose there is a tree. Maybe at the start you can consider it's a binary tree only, and then what I need to point out here is that so you can see the tree here, and you can get a fair idea what is the left and right. Okay.
Yeah.
So A dot, I'll give a quick overview. A dot left is 4, A dot right is 2, 4 dot left is 2, 4 dot right is null, 2 dot left is 1, 2 dot right is 0, 2 dot left is 1, 2 dot right is 0. Okay. And the question here is that I want to know the number, find the number of duplicate subtrees present. Okay, in the given tree. So I'll tell what does the duplicate mean. That means 1 and 1 leaf node are duplicate, 0 and 0 leaf node are duplicate. If I talk about 1, 2, and 0, this subtree and 1, 2, and 0 subtree is also duplicate. So in this case, the answer is 3. To give a little more context about how this is, so this is the part if I talk about, and this section. These two are same, right? This complete subtree is same, right? So in this case, the answer is 3. And individually, 1 and 0 are also obviously one subtree only with left and right as null. So the question here is simple, that we need to know the number of duplicate subtrees in this problem.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So if I quickly ask about a little bit about the database knowledge, do you know about the log-based protocol
Log-based protocol? No, I haven't studied
in
about it.
database transaction? Can you tell me what do you understand by the ACID property in database?
Yeah, so acid may it could be like atomicity, consistency, isolation, and D for durability.
Okay, no need to go on the explanation part. I think you can pretty much understand the word's literal meaning as well. Coming quickly on the bit on the OS side as well. So you know about this thing like process life cycle, right?
No, I have no knowledge about OS because I haven't studied about OS.
Okay,
Oh.
I think yeah, I am pretty much done, and we have couple of minutes left. So if you have any questions for me, Srijan, you go ahead. You can ask.
Okay, I know my performance was bad, so you can
Sure.
just go through the like what should I do for the like upcoming interviews? What could I do for
First, very
it?
important thing is please join on time. A
No,
bit
no, that
a
would not
couple
be
of
a problem.
minutes before. And the other thing is that CS fundamentals are something which I would say becomes a base for many good product-based companies and a big packages as well. Okay, so I know that we have only just a couple of days left before the placement start, so it will be it will be very heavy to start with any new operating system or any
Yeah.
new concept learning. But try to see the basics and the quick interview questions possible. These are some of the very quick one, like an ACID property coming, or like you cannot ask durability full form, like D is durability or not. You need to be confident on that part. Okay. I think on the problem solving side, obviously that takes a lot of time. We cannot improve in a couple of days itself, but try to see some of the frequently asked questions. You will get a much more clarity, and really be super quick in making decisions. When I say making decision, think of this design pattern. If this is not working, think of other design pattern. Don't just get very very rigid on one thought. The whole idea that you were telling, if you can even think for one more minute, that's a simple level or a traversal. Like, so I would say that try to run your mind much quicker when you see a problem. Then that's where you will
So,
eventually try
so
to solve it.
is it okay to like let's say I am having a bunch of ideas. So is it okay to confirm with the interviewer that I'm going through this idea, but or is it not? Like
So when you
I had this idea, but I think like I can't ask you that
yeah,
I can
you
use this.
cannot ask me, but the thing is you need to share the proper analysis with me. So in
So
that case, the interviewer know that already the person has done a proper research on different algorithm he can think of. He's not kind of confirming that, okay, is this two algorithm which I should go with? Because it will be kind of a trick running
yeah.
behind.
So yeah,
So
sharing idea is a good thing. Okay.
yeah, a much more, I would say, analysis. Okay, and
Yeah.
especially in terms of time and space complexity, because that's actually going to define your bigger complexities for the problem, right? So yeah, I think, and in the last I can say before handing over the code, please do check out the edge cases. Don't be in a rush to just complete the code, because this is something, a code which is being evaluated how good you are writing from a production level deployment code, right? Is this code something which is good enough to be deployed as well? I don't see it yet. There is many things which are missing. Okay, so whenever you are handling the code, please do that, check that, and some minor things like you can add some of the places comments which you think which is important. And yeah, I think that's a quick one feedback from my side. Okay, so yeah, you have any other questions, Srijan?
Okay. So like one thing that I haven't studied about operating system. So I could clearly say that I don't have the knowledge about this. So is it okay?
I would say that if you have some time, try to see some of the basic areas of OS, at least some of the, that's what I'm saying, the interview questions, frequently asked interview questions.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
you can give some idea and leave the interviewer with the rest, that okay, I don't have much more depth, but the basic idea, so that way it can work. Okay. But yeah, I would say that basic idea could go much more depth with it.
Also in DBMS part, could you help me? Like, what will be what thing should I focus, like on queries or in theory?
Both has its own significance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and interviewer can ask either or the two. Definitely, the SQL queries is something which can be expected if you are they have to properly thinking of as you as a backend developer. Like how much knowledgeable you are on the different CS concepts, that is going to define as a CS person. So try to
Mm-hmm.
keep the ball a little lower itself, so that
Mm-hmm.
it's something like committing less and delivering more.